Welcome to day 1 of making Sauron's helmet from the Lord of the Rings entirely from scratch. I'm starting this project by making a base helmet. The night before, I had taken measurements of my skull using strips of 1 cm thick EVA foam. I cut and taped them around the highest point of my face, which are my forehead, nose, and jawline. On actual day 1, I filled that skeleton of the base helmet with some plastic wrap that I had lying around. I did this to create volume, and then I taped it to create the surface on which I was going to draw the pattern. I then drew the pattern using a Sharpie, following the highest point of the volume. Of course, I made sure to pet my corgi nail, as it is an essential part of the process. I added alignment marks and named the different pieces to facilitate the gluing process. I then cut the pattern pieces and added notches to allow them to be flattened. I then transferred the pieces to paper to clean up the lines. I cut the pattern paper pieces, then transferred them to 5mm EVA foam. I like to use sewing pins to trace over the pieces to keep them in place on the foam. I flipped the pattern and traced mirrored pieces to create the second half of the helmet. I then glued all the pieces using brush glue, which I like to apply using silicone brushes. I recommend you wait for both sides to be tacky, almost dry to the touch, before assembling both sides, and the glue so easily. While gluing, I made sure to follow the alignment marks that I made earlier, and to improve the curved shape, I used a heat gun and then pressed on the seam while it was still hot. Then I sanded the seam smooth using my Dremel tool. Lastly, I put on the helmet, marked where my eyes were, and cut holes for me to see through. And that's it for day 1. I will be posting my daily crafting vlog, so I'll see you on day 2. Bye!